Hi, I'm Phil Bainbridge, and this is a demo video for the tool to append drive folder permissions. So the principle behind this tool is it works on both shared and My Drive in Google, and it's simply designed to add extra permissions to a list of Google Drive folders or via an ID or URL listed down this column here. So I'm going to show you a couple of bits of demos and then what the different columns do. Here I have a shared drive specifically, and there's only me as a manager of this shared drive, and I've got some folders on them here to test a few things. The first thing I'm going to do then is I'm going to grab the ID of the shared drive. I can grab the whole URL if I wanted. The tool is compatible with both. But if I paste the ID into this cell here, the first row, I don't need to populate the folder name. It will do it automatically. But what I need to highlight here is the manager option. To append manager permissions, it can only be done for the root of a shared drive. So if I go back to my shared drive, this is the root of my shared drive here. If I go into a folder on the shared drive, I'm no longer in the root of it. So you can only add managers to the root of a shared drive. So in this instance, I'm going to add one of my other test accounts to be a manager. And I'm not going to do anything else because I don't want to use the other columns for this, but I could do if I just wanted to add content managers, etc. as well. Let's do a couple of folders then on the shared drive. So let's do a commenter folder. Grab the ID, pop that here. And then because I want to test a commenter specifically, I'll just use that one there. And let's do one other one, which is a content manager. So I want to add content manager to this folder. Paste that in there. And we'll add two people in here just to show you that you can. So you just need to use a comma and a space to add multiple email addresses like so. So that's how it works. It will only go through the rows that actually have an ID or URL in them. It will also skip any rows that are marked as completed, as you'll see at the end. That allows you to continue to append further rows to this Google Sheet. So we can get the folder names first, because it might be useful for us actually to know what these items are called when we're iterating through them before we start changing any permissions. So if I go to admin menu up here and get folder names, all it's going to do now is it's going to iterate through row by row and get the actual name of the item here from the left-hand side. Okay, we get a successful pop-up message there to see it's done that. And it's got the name of the shared drive there, and it also creates a link to it directly so I can jump to that specific place if I wanted to as well, which is useful for us. Okay, let's append some permissions then. So if I go to admin and append folder permissions, I say it's going to go now through row by row. It's going to test that you have access to the relevant folder or shared drive in order to then be able to append the permissions one by one. Over here on the right-hand side, what you'll be able to see is as it goes through, it then marks it as completed in the status column, so that if you were to rerun the tool, it's not inevitably going to try and append the same permissions again. So it just goes through at that point, one by one. Once it's completed, you'll get a pop-up message on screen telling you so. So there we have it. 3 folders have been appended with permissions. So if we take a quick look then back at the shared drive, I can now see 2 people are listed there. And there's the other account that we added as a manager. We can see the little head and shoulders icon here for this folder so that we can go back in and see the sharing permissions as well, content managers, etc. there for us. So that's showing us that it's been added to those. The other thing we can do, if I just clear this out, is if you don't want to do it bit by bit, specifically, you can point it actually at a folder of subfolders. So just one single layer. So this is my Append Drive folder permissions testing. So if I go to the admin menu this time and go select a folder of folders, there's a slight pause here as the Google Picker will pop up, but we get a pop-up message there to confirm that. What we can do now is we can search for the folder that we have that contains the list of other folders that we want to pull into this tool. So mine was Append Drive folder permissions testing. So we just click to highlight it once and then click select. There's a slight pause again while it's going through now, folder by folder, iterating and getting the ID and folder name ready for us to use. Like so. So it looks exactly like before, and we've got the names in here that we can then click and get to the specific folder. And then you can just do as you did before. So enter the email addresses into the relevant columns. As a reminder, you've got the option here to be able to send a notification email to the person. It defaults to no if you leave it blank. And just remember the fact that if it's not a shared drive route itself, which it won't usually be in this particular instance, to just leave this middle column, this column alone in here. Thank you very much.